Welcome to Beyond the Dark, where we plunge headfirst into the realms of the unexplained, the mysterious, and the extraordinary. I'm your host, Jay Rockwell, and together we'll navigate the shadowy corridors of ufology, explore the world of cryptids, and venture into the cosmic unknown. From extraterrestrial encounters to the secrets of the paranormal, we leave no stone unturned. Join me as we embark on a journey that transcends the boundaries of reality. Hello, hello, hello! From the valleys of Ohio, I bid you a good evening. Welcome to the premiere episode of Beyond the Dark. I'm your host, Jay Rockwell, and I'm gonna probably do a little rambling before we kick into my outline of content. This is a big moment for me. It means a lot to me. I'm very excited, even if it only gets a few listens and it doesn't really catch on. I don't care. I'm getting to do something that I love. And the people that I've met along the way have just been nothing short of amazing. Sanguine Links is the person I want to shout out right now. Thank you so much for your dedication to the mod role on YouTube. I greatly appreciate it, and hopefully I can get you a little busier here soon, right? But hey, this is what we're going to do. For the people that were wanting the ghost stories, the scary stories and whatnot, the, ghost to ghost type like show. As I said when I put out my channel name video, those will be called Phantom Frequencies. It's going to be Beyond the Dark, Phantom Frequencies. And I am still planning to do that special later this month, but I did want to kick off Beyond the Dark and just get the ball rolling, okay? I don't know what we're going to do time-wise. I'm just going to go through my little outline of content that I have, and we'll go from there, and we'll see where it leads. Today is October 2nd, 2023, and here's what's in the news. We've got some mind-blowing space news coming your way. NASA's James Webb Telescope has just made a cosmic discovery that's leaving scientists scratching their heads. They've spotted hundreds of what they're calling lonely planets just drifting through space. No star to call home. But here's the kicker. These solo travelers aren't totally alone. Nope. They're showing up in pairs. They're calling them jumbos, or Jupiter Mass Binary Objects. They were found hanging out in the Orion Nebula, and let me tell you, astronomers are shook. One scientist not even on the survey team, Heidi Hamill, summed it up perfectly, saying, "My reactions ranged from, 'What?' to, 'Are you sure?' to, 'That's just so weird,' to, 'How could binaries be ejected together?' Now, the experts are cooking up two possible theories here. Either these are baby planets still in the oven, or they got the boot from the original solar systems and now they're cruising through interstellar space." Mark McCaughrean, a bigwig at the European Space Agency, put it in perspective, saying, "We were looking for these very small objects and we find them, floating freely, not attached to a star." He even threw in a bit of rebel talk, saying they might have just bent the rules of physics a bit. But hold on to your space helmets, folks, because here's the twist. While these jumbos might act like planets, technically, they're not. McCaughrean put it this way. It's like my cat is a Chihuahua mass pet. But it's not a Chihuahua, it's a cat. So, what's the verdict? The ejection theory is the front runner, but the fact that these James Webb snapshots caught around 40 jumbos rolling in pairs is leaving everyone stumped. McCaughrean put it best. How do you kick out pairs of these things together? Right now, we don't have an answer. It's one for the theoreticians. And there you have it, Cosmic Explorers. The universe just keeps throwing us curveballs. And speaking of curveballs, get ready to be swept away by some otherworldly news. NASA's Perseverance Mars rover recently had its eyes on a super tall dust devil on the red planet. And guess what? They've got the footage to prove it. Just a few miles away, this little whirlwind was caught on camera at the end of August. According to NASA's experts, this bad boy was cruising at about 12 miles per hour, and get this, it stood a jaw-dropping 1.2 miles high. That's taller than anything you'd find here on Earth. This swirling wonder was spotted in Mars's Jezero crater, specifically on its Thoroughfare Ridge, and NASA wants us to remember these whirlwinds on the red planet can put our earthly ones to shame in the size department. But wait, there's some cool science behind this too. Even though the rover was a good 2.5 miles away, the geniuses at NASA figured out its height. Mark Lemon, a planetary scientist from Colorado's Space Science Institute and a Perseverance team member, spilled the beans, saying, "We don't see the top of the dust devil, but the shadow it throws gives us a good indication of its height." So, yeah, this thing's towering. Now, let's put things in perspective here. Back on Earth, dust devils are like the mini-me version of tornadoes, usually running between 500 to 1,000 feet. But over on Mars, well, they play by a whole different set of rules, with whirlwinds reaching for the sky going miles high. Talk about a wild ride. And now to break up the space news, I've got some great news for all you health conscious folks out there. Recent research is showing that diving into plant based proteins might just be a key to keeping those kidneys in tip top shape. Now, we've all heard about the awesome perks of plant based diets, right? They're known to be heart healthy and can even lower the risk of certain types of cancer. But what about our kidneys? That's where things get interesting. A study led by Ga Young Ho dug deep into the connection between plant proteins and the risk of chronic kidney disease, and boy, did they uncover some eye opening stuff. They tracked over 117,000 folks, making sure they were in good health and hadn't dealt with kidney issues before. In nearly a decade of follow up, about 3,700 of them saw the onset of kidney disease. Guess what they found? Those who loaded up on plant proteins had a significantly lower risk of developing kidney disease compared to the ones who didn't. And get this, the more plant protein they chowed down on, the lower their risk dropped. Think about it. A 10% to 18% lower risk just from embracing more plant based protein in your diet. That's a game changer. But hold up, let's keep it real here. The study does have a few limitations. The info came from folks reporting their own diets, and you know how that goes. We might not always remember every little thing we eat. Plus, the study group might not be a perfect snapshot of everyone out there. Still, the bottom line is exciting. Ga Young Ho's research suggests that plant proteins could be like a shield for your kidneys. It's a big nudge for us to think about what we're putting on our plates, especially if we want to show our kidneys some love. But here's the deal, fam. We're not done yet. More studies are gonna be key in really nailing down just how much of a kidney boosting powerhouse plant proteins can be. So keep an ear out for more on this front. And there you have it, a little nugget of health wisdom for your day. Keep it chill, stay healthy, and maybe throw some extra plant proteins into your next meal, just for good measure. And back into the cosmic news, I got something that's sure to pique your interest. NASA just pulled off an interstellar heist of sorts, snagging about 250 grams of asteroid gold dust. Picture a mini fridge sized capsule parachuting down to Utah's sandy plains, slightly ahead of schedule. This delivery, compliments of the OSIRIS-REx mission, is a game changer. Now, this mission's been in the works since 2016, and its target? A space rock named Bennu. It's one of those near-Earth asteroids formed way back when the solar system was still a cosmic baby, about 10 million years young. What makes Bennu special? It's like a time capsule, barely changed since its birth, holding secrets of our solar system's infancy. The OSIRIS-REx spacecraft, decked out with some nifty MIT-designed tech, spent over 2 years circling Bennu, searching for that perfect sample spot. They even had a shoebox-sized gadget, Rexus, cooked up by over 100 MIT students. This thing uses X-rays to map the asteroid's surface, guiding the spacecraft to the juiciest bits. Fast forward to September 24th, and the capsule took its skydive through Earth's atmosphere while the OSIRIS-REx set off on a new cosmic adventure towards asteroid Apophis. The capsule? It's now kicking back at Houston's Johnson Space Center, waiting for scientists worldwide to give it a thorough checkup. Big shout out to MIT's own Richard Benzel, a top tier asteroid expert who played a key role in this epic mission. He's been with Rexus from day one, making sure it jived with the spacecraft. He provided the lowdown on the capsule's touchdown and what he's hoping to dig up from Bennu's dusty treasures. Exciting times for space buffs, no doubt. For the sky gazers, this one's for you. Get ready for some celestial treats this October. We've got a lineup that's sure to dazzle your senses. First up, mark your calendars for the 14th of October, when a ring of fire solar eclipse will be gracing the skies across the Americas. Picture the sun as a narrow ring of light, a sight you won't want to miss. But that's not all, folks. The moon, Jupiter, Saturn, and Venus are all set to strike some lovely poses for us this month. Here's the scoop. On October 2nd, the moon will rise a few hours after sunset, cozying up to the Pleiades star cluster. Keep your eyes peeled low in the east after 10 p.m. tonight and enjoy their journey across the night sky. Then, on October 3rd, catch the moon hanging out just a couple of finger widths away from the Pleiades, with Jupiter and the fiery giant star Aldebaran in Taurus keeping them company in the southwest. Fast forward to October 10th. Venus will be putting on a show in the eastern sky before dawn, joined by a slim crescent moon. And right between them, you'll spot the heart of Leo the Lion, the bluish-white star Regulus. Now, the big day, October 14th. Get ready for that annular eclipse of the sun. This cosmic spectacle will sweep a path about 125 miles wide, giving lucky viewers a glimpse of the Ring of Fire. Whether you're in southern Canada, the western US, or down in Central and South America, you're in for a treat. Even if you're outside the path, you'll still catch a partial eclipse. The amount of sun covered by the moon will vary depending on where you're located. And don't forget about our lunar friend. On October 23rd, look south after sunset to catch the moon, shining at about 70% illumination, hanging just beneath the majestic planet Saturn. It's a perfect setup for some telescope action. October 24th brings the moon hanging out to the east of Saturn, and on the 28th, get ready for the grand finale. A full moon rising alongside the brilliant Jupiter. Talk about a sight to behold. So, set your alarms, grab your telescopes, and get ready to be wowed by the October skies. Happy stargazing, folks. And please, if you plan on taking any pictures, any astrophotography, or if you have a telescope that can snap some of these shots, please send them to beyondthedarkradio@outlook.com. And lastly, we've got some news coming straight from NASA. Turns out parts of the Big Apple are doing a little dance. They're either sinking or rising, all at their own pace. Now, don't get too worked up. It's just fractions of inches per year we're talking about. But here's the thing. It's got a say in local flood risk, especially with sea levels on the rise. NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory in California and the smart folks over at Rutgers University spilled the beans on this. They've been using some fancy radar tech to track the up and down movements. Think of it as a high-tech peekaboo for the Earth's surface. So why is this happening? Well, some of it's our own doing. Changes like land reclamation and building on softer ground play a part. But here's the real plot twist. Mother Nature's got a role too. Thousands of years ago, during the Ice Age, things got a bit icy in upstate New York, and now the Earth's taking a breather, gently readjusting. On average, the city's sinking about as much as your toenail grows in a month, so nothing too dramatic, but pretty gross on the comparison. But hold on to your seats, because they've pinpointed spots like LaGuardia Airport and Arthur Ashe Stadium that are doing a bit of a dip quicker than the rest. Why does this matter? Well, with climate change throwing the oceans for a loop, keeping tabs on local elevation changes is crucial. It helps with flood planning and making sure our beloved landmarks don't get swamped. Keep your ears perked, because NASA's keeping an eye on the Big Apple's subtle moves. They've got some exciting projects in the pipeline using even snazzier tech. Until then, New York, keep on grooving. And that wraps up today's news tidbits. I'm going to take a short break, and when we come back, we will be discussing our main topic, Area 51. I mean, it just wouldn't be right if I didn't cover that topic for the premiere show. I know it's been done a million times, but we're going to do it again. Shoutouts to Mixkit.co. They provide all sounds and music that you hear on Beyond the Dark, and I just am so amazed and impressed. And thank you, thank you, thank you, Mixkit.co. Welcome back to Beyond the Dark with Jay Rockwell. We're going to get going on today's main topic, and I'm not going to really build it up here. I'm going to just jump right into it. So, picture this, okay? The year is 1947, and the rugged terrain of New Mexico stretches out as far as the eye can see. The sun beats down on the landscape, creating a shimmering mirage on the horizon. It's a day like any other, or so it seemed. In the midst of this vast expanse on a ranch just outside the quiet town of Roswell, history was about to be etched in the sands of time. Cattle grazed lazily, oblivious to the extraordinary events about to unfold. The air was charged with an electric tension, a feeling that something monumental was on the brink of happening. As the hours passed, the ranchers went about their daily routines, unaware that their lives were on the cusp of being forever changed. It was amidst this seemingly ordinary backdrop that a discovery was made, a discovery that would send shockwaves through the community. This, my friends, was the setting for what would become one of the most debated and mysterious events in history. The stage was set, the players were unknowingly assembled, and the Roswell incident was poised to take its place in the pantheon of the unexplained. Now, let's journey back to that scorching July day in 47, just outside the quiet town of Roswell. Imagine the sprawling ranch, the heat shimmering off the desert floor, and the stillness that hung in the air. It was here that locals stumbled upon something that would change their lives. At first, it seemed like a curious anomaly, like a puzzle piece from another dimension that didn't quite fit in our world. As word spread, the community's curiosity was piqued. What could this be? Speculations ran wild, and as the sun dipped below the horizon, the sense of mystery only deepened. It was as if the very earth held its breath, as if aware of the profound shift that had occurred on its surface. The next morning, as the first rays of sunlight kissed the rugged landscape, the gravity of the discovery became apparent. This wasn't just some forgotten wreckage. This was something beyond our wildest imaginations. The ranch, once a backdrop for a quiet rural life, had now become ground zero for an enigma that would captivate the world. And in the heart of it all stood a community forever linked to the inexplicable, a town whose name would forever echo through the annals of history. This was the moment the world first heard of the Roswell incident. Alright, folks, let's take a moment to really sink our teeth into one of the most perplexing aspects of the Roswell incident, the mysterious debris. Now, picture this. You're out in the New Mexico desert, minding your own business, when you stumble upon something that defies explanation. Witnesses who were there on that unforgettable day described the material as something straight out of science fiction. We're talking about debris that was not only lightweight, but incredibly sturdy, too. It's as if someone from another galaxy had dropped it from the sky. Now, here's where it gets even more intriguing. Some witnesses claimed that this material bore markings that looked like hieroglyphics. Imagine that! Hieroglyphics on a piece of debris in the middle of the desert. It's the kind of stuff that makes you question everything you thought you knew about reality. But what made this discovery even more head scratching was the way it seemed to defy all known technology of the time. It wasn't aluminum foil or rubber, it was something entirely out of the ordinary, something that sent scientists and investigators down rabbit holes they could never quite escape. So, the next time you hear someone say Roswell, remember, it's not just about a crash. It's about the baffling materials left behind. Materials that continue to fuel our fascination with the unknown. Alright, now here's where things get really interesting, folks. The military rolls in, and they roll in hard, okay? Suddenly, what was once a quiet New Mexico ranch becomes a scene straight out of a sci fi movie. Men in uniforms, trucks, the whole shebang. They swoop in, and soon after, the story takes an unexpected turn. The official word from the higher ups? Hold on to your horses here. They say it was a weather balloon. Now, come on. I know we're all here for some good mystery, but a weather balloon? That's a bit of a stretch, don't you think? I mean, let's be real here. Weather balloons aren't exactly the stuff of legend. They don't leave us scratching our heads for decades. But that's the line they went with, and well, it sparked even more questions. It's like saying a magic trick was just a sleight of hand. It might explain something, but it definitely doesn't tell the whole story. So, what's the deal here? That's what keeps this story alive and kicking. The government's response, or shall we say, their attempt to put a lid on things, only fueled the fire of speculation. And that, my friends, is where the real intrigue lies. Now, let's talk about the conspiracy theories because, let's face it, they're as much a part of the story as the incident itself. You see, when something as strange and significant as Roswell happens, it's like a magnet for wild ideas and imaginative tales. Some folks out there firmly believe that what came down from the sky that day was no weather balloon, but rather an extraterrestrial spacecraft. They argue that the government swooped in, not just to clean up debris, but to keep something much bigger under wraps. The idea of interstellar visitors roaming our desert skies certainly fuels the imagination. At least it does mine. Then, there are those who lean towards a more earthly explanation. They suggest that Roswell might have been a testing ground for top secret government projects. Whether it was experimental aircraft or unconventional technology, they posit that the truth was classified to protect national interests. Okay. And let's not forget the speculation about otherworldly beings. Some even claim to have met survivors of the crash, describing them as small, humanoid figures with unusual features. Now, whether these accounts are fact or fiction is anyone's guess, but they certainly add an intriguing layer to the mystery. Ultimately, the Roswell incident continues to be a playground for speculation and imaginative thinking. It's a canvas where believers and skeptics alike paint their own versions of what might have transpired on that hot summer day in 47. Now, let's talk about the legacy of the Roswell incident. You see, this event wasn't just a blip on the radar of history, it was the spark that ignited a cosmic wildfire of fascination. It sent ripples through pop culture, leaving an indelible mark on books, movies, and even late night campfire stories. Think about it, folks. Roswell didn't just captivate the mind of ufologists and conspiracy theorists, it captured the imaginations of everyday people like you and me. It became a beacon of curiosity, a symbol of that unyielding human spirit that dares to question the unknown. We're talking about a phenomenon that birthed an entire subculture. There are conventions, communities, and gatherings where enthusiasts from all walks of life come together to explore the mysteries of the universe. Roswell, in a way, gave us permission to dream a little bigger, to wonder if we might not be alone in this vast cosmic sea. And let's not forget the countless documentaries and TV specials that continue to draw us into the enigma of that fateful day. They invite us to ponder the what ifs and could be's, to gaze into the night sky and wonder if there might be more out there. So, as we reflect on the legacy of Roswell, let's remember that it's not just about little green men. It's about a collective, insatiable curiosity that unites us all in the quest for truth and understanding in a universe that never ceases to amaze. So, as we wind down this inaugural journey into the mysterious world of Roswell, let's take a moment to reflect. This incident, my friends, is a portal into our collective fascination with the unknown, a reminder that the universe still holds secrets that beg to be unraveled. As we ponder the strange debris and the hushed conversations that followed, let's remember that curiosity is the spark that lights our way. It's what keeps us asking questions, seeking answers, and peering into the shadows. You see, the Roswell incident isn't just saucers in the sky, it's about us, standing on the precipice of discovery, eager to grasp the threads of truth that weave through the fabric of our reality. So, my fellow explorers, let's carry this curiosity forward. Let's keep our minds open and our eyes trained on the vast expanse above. Who knows what other enigmas await our gaze, what mysteries are waiting to be unveiled. And that concludes our special on the Roswell incident. I hope that you enjoyed it. I thank you for joining us on this journey beyond the dark. Next time, we'll delve even deeper into the heart of another enigma, so be sure to tune in. Until then, keep your eyes on the skies and your minds open. Take care and stay curious. I want to add a little end note here, okay? This was the first, hopefully of many, shows to come. You gotta start from somewhere. I'm an amateur at best, as you can tell, but I put my heart into this. I enjoy this. I enjoy the love of the community, and I know this isn't Art Bell, okay? And I'm not trying to be Art Bell. I'm just paying homage, as I've said before, and time again, and I'll say it again, is that Art Bell is often imitated, never duplicated. I would never try. I would never try. Couldn't even hold the candle to the guy. But he's an inspiration, okay? And this has been a crazy ride, and I'm enjoying doing something that I love, and that's broadcasting. Whether it's online, a podcast, video, it doesn't matter. I'm getting to do something that I love so much, and you guys make that possible. Please, if you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up, hit the sub button, turn the notifications on. Okay, we're obviously not to a point where we have an hour-long show or plus. We don't have any guests to interview. We don't really have much going on right now. So I'm working with what I got. I know the format probably isn't too smooth, but we're going to get better. We're going to get better over time with each show. I'm a one-man army. I'm doing all the mixing, all the editing, cutting, normalizing. Well, I'm trying to normalize the audio. So just bear with me. Please leave your comments below, even if it's constructive criticism. Just please, no like stupid stuff. Anything constructive, please let me know. Give me some guidance. If you want to help, if you want to be a part of Beyond the Dark, voiceovers, provide music, do graphics, I don't care. If you feel like you can pitch in, please shoot me an email, beyondthedarkradio@outlook.com. That is beyondthedarkradio@outlook.com. I'm your host, Jay Rockwell. Stay safe, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.